Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we refer to the daily Bible reading as our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th, 2026, during the first week of Easter. The lectionary reading is from the Old Testament book of Joshua. The people of God who escaped from Egypt under Moses' leadership had been living in the desert for the past 40 years. He is the only leader they have known, and now Moses is dead. But before Moses died, God commanded him to publicly appoint Joshua, whom Moses had mentored for 40 years in the desert, as his successor. The people of God are about to enter the promised homeland, facing a pivotal transition. As desert dwellers, they received manna to eat daily. But once in the promised homeland, they will need to learn to grow their own food. They lack the skills to build homes because they've lived in tents in the desert since leaving Egypt. And right in front of them is the formidable Jordan River, which is overflowing its banks at this moment. How will they cross over to the promised land? The lectionary reading is Joshua chapter 3, which describes how the people of God will transition from the desert to the promised land. The people of God mourned for Moses for 30 days after his death. Afterwards, God instructed Joshua to lead the people across the Jordan River. The community remains unsure whether God will be with Joshua as he was with Moses. However, God assured Joshua that the people will see that he was with him just as he had promised to be with him before Moses' death. Joshua gave the people clear instructions. When they see the priest carrying the covenant box of the Lord, they are to follow them. They will show you the way because you have never been here before. But do not go too close to the covenant box. The priests carrying the covenant box of the Lord walked toward the Jordan River, and as their feet touched the water's edge, the water of the Jordan River flowed downstream, stood still, and then rose into a heap. The priests walked to the center of the riverbed and stood on dry ground there until everyone had crossed from the desert to the other side of the Jordan River.